Teenage Athing was unstoppable. Dubbed the American Prodigy in the 800, she had already proven herself as an A-list athlete in 4 other distances: the 200, 400, 600, and the 1500. 5 total events by the age of 16. She was strong in multiple events, but it was ultimately the 800 which revealed the full measure of her talent. In her 2017 to 2018 season, she went on a 33-race winning streak in the 800. That's 13 months of total domination. But despite all that success at such a young age, 2024 turned out to be arguably the worst season she's had since her breakout in 2015. And the sad truth is, since then, it hasn't really gotten any better. After her unusual lack of good performances in 2025, and having failed to qualify for the World Championships, track fans have noticed a worrying trend and have pointed out at her decline. This is now the second time that America's fastest 600 and 800 meter runner has failed to qualify for a global championship. The first being Paris Olympics and the second time failing to qualify for the recently concluded Tokyo World Championships. Users took to social media. Does Athing even like running? I remember she wasn't motivated before. Is Athing motivated? Is her heart in it? I agree. Imagine being Olympic and world champion by the age of 20. Maybe she achieved all she wanted to. Others hinting out that she may have her mind in something else entirely. I remember her saying she wanted to model. It's easy to pile on her coach Kersey, but she got success early, and her heart may not be in it. To understand how good her running career was, we have to understand how good she was in her prime. At age 19, she became the youngest woman to win double gold in the 800 and 400 relay at the Olympics. 2 golds in her first Olympics. America had a star, and she was queen of the middle distances. In comparison, Pamela Gelimo was 18 when she won 800-meter gold in Beijing 2008. Becoming the youngest Olympian, but when you think of it, were it not for the COVID pandemic, Athing would also have been 18 in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. This is just to point out how talented she was as a teen, and as she went on smashing records, Nike came along and signed her in 2021. Looking back at these accomplishments, we can see how good she got over the years. From age 15 to 16, she trained for the Trenton Track Club under coach Al Jennings. Before her 16th birthday, she was already demolishing athletes in her age category. In the 2017 AAU Junior Olympic Games, she lapped the competition and won the girls' 800 and the 1500. She would return back to the AAU champs a year later in the summer of 2018, aged 16. And she was a better superstar. That year, she was crowned champ in 3 events: the 400, 800, and the 1500. And the icing on the cake is that she came in second in the 200. Nobody could catch her, and 2 months later she would automatically qualify for the Youth Olympics in Argentina. This time she faced some tough competition from Australia's Keely Small, and she would have to settle for silver, but let's be clear, that was her first real international meet, and she would have many more later on. By early 2019, her progress was already clear. At the USATF Indoor Championships that February, she won the women's 600 meters in 1 minute, 23.57 seconds, setting a new American indoor record at only 16 years old. That time also placed her second on the all-time indoor list worldwide, just 13 hundredths off the world best. Well, as of 2025, she now places as third, after Keely Hodgkinson broke the world record in 2023. However, for Athing, it was one of the first major signs that she wasn't just ahead of her age group. She was performing at a level that matched the top athletes in middle distance events.
American record!
Yeah, you heard it from the best.
Yo, you gave a clinic on how to run the 600.
I did.
That's what you did. You gave a clinic.
And that's from Coach Lisa Morgan. Yeah, the GOAT.
As track season moved into summer of 2019, her results continued to stack up. She was winning nearly every under-20 race she entered. She took the USA Under-20 Outdoor 800-meter title in 2 minutes, 5.59 seconds, then followed it with another 800-meter win at the Pan American Under-20 Championships in Costa Rica, finally crowned a gold medalist at the Global Champs, her first gold that only seemed to fuel her up. A few weeks later, she stepped onto the senior national stage at the USA Championships in Des Moines. Still only 17, she advanced through the rounds and ran 2 minutes 1.17 seconds in the final. A big personal best and one of the fastest times ever recorded by an American at that age. It was now 2020. 1 year before her biggest breakthrough in international senior career while still being a teenager. Her indoor form stayed sharp, moving into early 2020. At the Virginia Showcase that January, competing unattached, she broke the high school national record in the 500 meters. Across the 2020 indoor season, she was entering multiple events at nearly every meet.
Athing's gonna break it. New national record.
1:10.22.
She was participating in 6 different distances, from 200 meters up to the mile, and consistently posted marks that topped national lists. Later that year came her move to Texas A&M, where she arrived as a freshman in fall 2020, with established times that were already elite at the collegiate level. 51.98 seconds in the 400 meters and 2 minutes 1.17 seconds in the 800. She had spent her entire development racing club meets for Trenton Track Club under coach Al Jennings. Across those seasons from 2017 to 2020, her routine stayed simple. School, training, racing, and the results kept building. Dominated the AAU Junior Olympics at 15 and 16, won under 20 titles at 16, and put up national-level senior times at 17. By the time she turned 18, her name was already well established in the sport, with more opportunities ahead, and she would maintain her form as the competition around her got tougher. Moving into 2021 and 2022, nothing really changed in her approach. She just kept progressing. She entered the NCAA, won national titles, and carried that form into the Olympics, taking gold in both the 800 and the 4x400. Just worth mentioning again that at those Olympics, held in 2021, she delivered one of the most dominant middle distance performances in U.S. history. She won gold in the 800 meters in 1 minute, 55.21 seconds, setting a new American record, and followed it with another gold in the 4x400 relay, splitting a blazing 48.32 seconds on the anchor leg. The next year, at the 2022 World Championships in Oregon, she won the 800 meters on home soil, becoming the first American woman to claim that championship world title.
Athing starts her year as a collegiate freshman, makes an Olympic title, and goes with a new 1:55.04 and a new American record.
A new American record set on American soil. Eugene, Oregon. That meet meant something to her, and a year later she would come back to that same stadium for the Diamond League final in 2023, where she lowered the record again. She clocked 1:54.97 in that race, the fastest 800 she has ever run, a performance that sent a message. She had bounced back from her defeat in Budapest a month earlier.
Athing to the line as she will be the Diamond League champion. New meet record. New American record.
But sometimes when you've hit the absolute peak of your abilities, the only direction left to move is downward. And I think that's what happened to Moo's career. She hit a high note too young. We're talking about multiple records and breakthroughs from age 15 to 21, 6 straight years of domination. And once she reached the very top, she hit the ceiling and slowly started to decelerate. Her best 800 is still that race from 2023. Her indoor 800-meter personal best came in 2021. Her 400 best also in 2021. These marks are starting to feel like ghost times. Distant benchmarks she has not been able to surpass. In the 2022 season, she competed across 5 events: the 400, 600, 800, the relay, and the indoor mile. By 2023, she had already begun narrowing her focus, dropping the 400, the 600, and the mile, and concentrating primarily on the 800 at the Budapest Championships, where she finished 3rd, earning bronze behind Keely Hodgkinson and Mary Moraa. Then came 2024, and the reduction was even more striking. She appeared in only 2 800-meter races that year, attributing her limited schedule to a hamstring injury, a sharp contrast to the multi-event seasons she had been running in previous years. At the U.S. Olympic trials, she placed 3rd in her first heat, won the semifinal, but fell in the final, finishing 9th. Missing the Olympics was a major setback.
Her semifinal hit.
Down goes Athing Mo. Athing Mo is on the ground. An eventful 800 final, and spare a thought for Athing Mo. Such a long time to come back and then to lose the opportunity with a fall.
She later raced the Holloway Pro Classic in Florida, but the sharpness that once defined her wasn't there. She finished 5th, failing to run under 2 minutes, a rarity for her. She controlled the race through 700 meters, but faded noticeably in the final stretch. A similar pattern emerged in 2025. She opened her season in the 5,000 meters at the Mansac Relays in California, but stepped off the track around the 3-kilometer mark. She raced slightly more than she did in 2024, 2 1,500-meter races and 3 800s, but again fell short of qualifying for the 2025 Tokyo World Championships, finishing 4th in 1:59.79. That was her only sub-2-minute performance of the entire season. Taken together, these results suggest a clear decline in her 800-meter dominance, and it explains why the track community feels they've watched a rare talent slip from her peak. With Mu, it's difficult to identify a single cause. Perhaps she achieved everything she wanted to early on in her career. Perhaps the standards she set for herself have become increasingly difficult to maintain, or perhaps her interests are shifting. According to a 2024 article by Runner's World, she is quoted saying, "I've been interested in fashion and also beauty, so being able to do something like partner with Olay has been really fun to discover myself. My dreams and desires have not solely been on track and field, because I've never only identified with track and field. I've always wanted to do other things and see what else I could extend myself to." Maybe she wants to commit fully to that. Maybe she's exploring. Maybe the fire for track dimmed after reaching the summit so young. No one really knows yet, but a proper return in 2026 would be compelling. Especially now when the women's 800 has become the most competitive it's ever been. But if she does step back on the line, we will be waiting to watch.